Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Child. Lou dropped a video a couple days ago explaining her version of what happened in their relationship and why they broke up. Number one, I'm here to watch, I'm here to listen, and I'm here to just do that. So let's see what's going on with the goings on in this relationship in Lou's version. Okay? Alright, beautiful people. Let's watch.
Firstly, I'd like to extend an apology to all of TTG for having to be here in this capacity. To all of TTG for all of the drama. Pardon me. To all of anybody, even if you're not TTG, if you were affected by this situation. It is very unfortunate that I am here like this. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would be here like this. However, I'm not going to drag on because I have a lot to say. I apologize about all of this drama. I am here because my hand has been forced. I am here to defend myself and to defend myself only. I'm not here to do anything other than defend the narrative that has been put out about me. This is not my style. I would have chosen not to have done this. I was moving on quite lovely. I thought things were good, but I guess that is not the case, and that is fine because now I get an opportunity to tell my truth. Here we are. I'm not going to hold you up because I have a lot to say, and I do have receipts. And I think that word is so corny. Receipts, I have receipts. But that's what y'all want to call it. I have these receipts, and I will be putting these in the end of this video. And the reason why I will be putting that at the end of this video is because in order for you guys to understand my receipts, or even to understand what you guys saw that was posted of me, you must understand everything from the beginning. And one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and give you guys detail from detail to detail to detail of my 6-year relationship with this woman. I think I've given you guys enough of that. Very much so. However, I can try to shed some light on the nature of our relationship, on the nature of what it was, because it was completely what you guys it was not what you guys thought it was. So I'm going to jump right into it. I went on a first date with Tay. The first date was absolutely lovely. We both really liked each other. After we separated from the date, she called me, I called her, whoever did what. We decided, hey, we want to see each other again. She invited me to come see her again. This time it was at her house. The first place was at a restaurant. This time it was at a house. Is this recording? Just making sure. Perfect. It was at her house. So, of course, I came. I believe it was the very next day, but it could have been 2 days later. However, it was either 1 or 2 days later. I come to Tay's house. I enter her house. And when I tell you guys, I kid you not, I never left that house again without her. And what I'm saying right now would make sense. Just give me a moment. I moved in on the spot. Now, granted, when I came in right then, no, I wasn't coming in to move in. However, what happened was I came in that night. I never left. We pretty much did the grown-up for a month straight. For a month straight. We were completely obsessed with each other for a month straight. We weren't eating. We weren't doing anything. I've said this before on the Tae and Lou YouTube channel. You guys know the drill. We were completely entwined with each other for a month straight. Not giving ourselves a chance to see each other or to get to know each other or anything like that. It was completely sexual and infatuation for a month straight. Finally, I look up a month later. I realize, okay, I'm kind of slacking. I may have looked up a little bit earlier than a month, but I realized I'm kind of slacking because, you guys, I came to her with a job. I was an atmosphere model. So, at that time. So, my job was to go to clubs, make the club look fun, and my housing was secured. But remind you guys, I started staying with Tay. I never left. I literally never left. I came with the clothes on my back and the gifts that I bared for her household. That's all I came with. So, I finally was like, you know what? I need to go to work. I'm going to lose my housing. I know I'm liking you a lot, but I have to go to work. She expressed to me, I don't want you to leave. And I will not lie. I won't sit here and lie. I expressed to her, I don't want to leave. We did not want to separate. So what did? I brought her to work with me. Come on, slugger. brought her to work with me 2 times. After the second time of her coming to work with me, she expressed to me, Lou, I don't want you working there no more. It's too late. There's a whole bunch of drama, and you're here with me every day anyway. We might as well go get all of your stuff from Harlem, and you just bring it in here. You're here every day, anyway. You guys, she didn't have to convince me much. I wanted to be with her. I was blindly trusting her, blindly trusting that she was going to be a good person. Be a good person. That's what I was blindly trusting, that she could be a damn good person. Wow, what a shit show. Anyway, blindly trusting that this girl can be a good person. So I agreed to it. That was my fault. I should have given myself more respect. I should have gone back to my apartment. Listen, all of this I've gone through already, and it really irritates me that I gotta even, anywho, moved in with her. The moment I moved in with her completely, and by this time, all of the sexual activity had slowed down a little bit. It was still going, but it slowed down a little bit, so now we can see each other. This is when I started to see who she really was. So very soon, she started to show her true colors to me. This is when the alienation started. This is when the control started. This is when the pettiness started. This is when the temper showed. And this is when the fighting started. Most importantly, this is when the fighting started, you guys. Like I told you, we started fighting, if I didn't say that already, we started fighting within a month of our relationship. Our first fight honestly set the tone for our relationship. And after that first fight, we were fighting, if not every day, every other day. And you guys, this apartment, she shared it with 2 of her exes. I was there with 2 of her exes. I found this out late. However, we were fighting. These women bear witness to these fights. A lot of people have bear witness to our fights. However, we were living in this house. I apologize, you guys. What I want to do is I want to do a straight run through. However, y'all have to bear with me. I have not gone through these details in a very long time, and I have gotten over this stuff. However, it is very traumatic. However, we were fighting our asses off, pardon my language, within a month. Between the fighting, between the sexual activity, the talks of YouTube started. Honestly, I'm going to digress a little bit, and I'm so sorry, but I want to specify the first fight. I do. So give me a moment. The first fight, what happened was Tay was asleep on her bed, and she's going to tell a totally different story, but it is what it is at this point, I guess, is who say whatever. She was laying on her bed asleep, and I was laying at the foot of her bed. At this time, I did not have a phone. I was using my iPad. You guys, this is very traumatic for me. I have never gotten onto this internet and start crying. I have never gotten onto any of my platforms and just started crying. I'm a reactionary person, and I want y'all to know right now, if y'all ever see some tears from me, just pay them no mind. I was sitting at the edge of that girl bed, and she was asleep, and she was sleep. I could tell she was in REM. However, I was depressed. I've been depressed a very long time about my situation with my daughter, and it is my right not to go down all of that with y'all. However, I was at the edge of her bed, and I was on my iPad, and I was crying on the phone with my best friend at the time. I lost my best friend because of a situation with Tay. However, the one I'm speaking about. However, and a decision I made as well. But let me not digress. I'm sitting at the edge of that bed on the phone with my best friend at the time, crying to her, telling her how much I miss my daughter and how much I need to do this and how much I need to do that, how much I miss her. And she starts turning. And when I say she, I mean Tay. And she's huffing a little bit and puffing. Mind you, she's still relatively new to me, so I'm thinking, okay, she's just tossing and turning. She proceeds to get up, tosses the cover off of her, and storms out the room. So I'm like, mind you, I'm mid-cries. I'm deep in my cries. It was late at night. I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about my daughter. I didn't want to wake her up, so I called my best friend. I went to the edge of the bed, and I called my best friend. I wasn't going to leave out the house. Why? Because her ex is down this way. Her other ex is down this way. No, I'm going to stay in this room to which I'm allotted, the space to which I'm allotted. So I sat at the edge of the bed, and she got up, tossed the covers off, and stormed out the room. So I saw that. I clearly knew she was bothered by something. But I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal. I was thinking, honestly, maybe I am so sorry, y'all. I was thinking maybe something else. Maybe the girl had a nightmare. Or maybe she was going to come in there and tell me to lower my voice a little bit. Because you guys, I wasn't, I wasn't crying or nothing like that, but I was crying. I was making noise and she was asleep. So those are the things that went through my head that could have possibly happened next. That's not what happened next. This Tay proceeds to walk back into her room, nonetheless, this is her room, back into the room, storms up to me, snatches my iPad out of my hand and asks me, who am I talking to? Now, you guys, a reminder, I don't know this girl yet just too well. Also, maybe some new information or maybe a reminder. I am not, how do I say this without sounding? Listen, everyone's from a different place. Everyone was raised differently. I was raised a certain way. And unfortunately, that was an act of aggression to me. And no, not unfortunately. That was an act of aggression to me. This girl comes in, rushes up to me, snatches my iPad out my hand before she can act. I wouldn't have mind the who are you talking to question. But where she triggered me, because yet again, that's not the way I was raised. You do not run up on me like that, number one. And then number two, you will not take something that is mine out of my hand in a forceful manner. That's just not what's going to happen. That will always put me on the alert. That will always put me into I will go. You should have asked me first. I don't mind answering questions, but what you won't do is aggress me first, because I will finish it. And that is that. She snatched it from out of my hand and asked me who I was talking to. I hopped up. I began to explain to her, she was new to me. She was new to me. I began to explain to her, like, listen, I'm crying about my daughter. Like, I'm crying about my daughter to my best friend. This girl proceeds to hang up my phone on my best friend, tosses it to the side. I run up on her because I'm trying to stop her from tossing the only daggone form of communication I have with my child, the only form of communication I have with anything, with my friends, my lifeline. She was about to toss it. So I run up on her to get her to not toss my stuff, and the tussle begins, and then the swings begins, and then the fight commences. And it will always happen like that if you ever, and I'm so sorry, this is not me trying to be aggressive. Oh, I'm not saying nothing of the sort. All I'm saying to you is that just doesn't, it's not going to go down like that with me. And it never will. Ever. Sorry, you guys. I got a little excited there. And just recanting this stuff. It physically has a physical effect on me. It has a mental effect on me, and it has an emotional effect on me. And I'm sorry that, once again, I'm sorry that y'all even have to hear all of this. But I needed y'all to understand what the first fight was, how the first fight started. Because I was just about to go on all willy-nilly, like, oh, no, I don't need to say all that. No, I do need to say all that. I'm not about to do that. So that's the details of the first fight. So we were talking about pretty much talks of YouTube. It's been us doing nothing but being intertwined with each other. Literally being intertwined with each other, still fighting. Talks of YouTube come. The first video is dropped January 2017, 16. It's dropped in January. Do the research, please. Look it up. The entire time, you guys, we're pumping out this content to y'all. Mind you, still fighting, still being mentally controlled, still being mentally abused, still fighting on top of that, still trying to also live in these conditions. And also, I didn't get there yet. I guess that's the next part. Still doing YouTube. Mind you, we're making money off of YouTube at this point. And mind you, in my head, this is a we thing. We're making money off of YouTube. You guys, behind the scenes, I am not being paid. I can't do anything by myself. I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. Now, granted, whenever she would eat, she would get me food, yes. Whenever she would do this, she would do this with me. You guys, however, it must be a lot of children who think that would suffice a grown person. I need my own money, especially if I'm working for it. You guys, while we were pumping out those YouTube videos to you, we lived in 5 different places. All the while, we're moving around to these 5 different places. These places weren't just places, you guys. The first 3 places that we moved into, they were her exes. The first place that we spent the first beginning time of our relationship, I moved in with her ex and another ex, pretty much 2 of her exes. Well, one of them, she just had, whatever you want to call them, 2 ladies that she dealt with. Did not know that initially, but once I found out, obviously, I was in the fray. And I was rolling with the punches with her. Second place, lived with her for real ex. You guys have heard her talk about this young lady before. This was over a decade ex. And once again, this ex didn't know who I was. She was lied to about who I was, and pretty much Tay had us living in this ex's mother's apartment without her knowing who I was. We did eventually meet. We had to. There was no hiding us. We were living in her mother's apartment, and Tay was trying to hide that for a while. And all the while, like I already told y'all, I was on my P's and Q's every day. I knew I was in a place that someone knew I wasn't. They didn't know who I was, so I was ready every day for anything to pop off. You guys, I'm in the middle of Brooklyn while all of this is going on. No. So with that being said, me and the ex, we finally met. And guys, you know what? All of these exes, I don't know what they have to say to me today. I honestly, with everything going on at this point, anything related to her, I really don't care. However, I formed really close friendships with all of her exes. I formed very close friendships with everyone in her family. I cannot say the same for her and for my friends or any of my family. But anyway, first three places. 2 people she dealt with, an ex and a person she dealt with. Second person, her for real ex. Third place, we just lived with her mother and her ex. So this was all the exes. You guys, I have no issue with any of this. I absolutely adored these women. These were really wonderful, beautiful women. I adored them all, and they all helped me in ways through dealing with Tay. And I'm not going to put any of that out there. However, all of them helped me, and thank you so much to all of y'all. And I wish I would have taken in more information. However, you guys, all of this time we are working. These last 2 places that we lived together, it was just me and Tay. Seeing as though it was just me and Tay, I would expect that, you know, our relationship would have gotten a little bit better or a little bit anything. No, the relationship didn't change. Our fighting didn't change. Nothing changed. If anything, it got worse. You guys, I never had a key to any residence that I resided in with her. And by the time we lived at these last 2 residences, we were making a lot of money from Tay and Lou. I completely understand not having a key to these 3 because, let's be honest, in this house, we weren't making much Tay and Lou money. In this house, we weren't making much Tay and Lou money. I was not a woman expecting her to give me all her money because Tay didn't quit her job off the break. She was supporting us. She was buying. The only thing I needed was food because, you guys, I'm not a complicated woman. So she was going to work and she was feeding me every day and she housed me. However, that's what everything was set up to do.
My apologies, you guys. I meant set up to be. That was the way it was set up to be. She had me quit my job. She would not want me to get a job. She wanted me to stay in the house to cook, to clean. According to her, I didn't do that too well. However, yeah, that's what I meant. That's the way it was set up to be. In the beginning, I would never expect anyone to just give me all their money. No, I'm meaning give me my money once we started making the Tay and Lou money, not when she was working her job.
So with that being said, I thought things were going to change. I thought our relationship was going to get better. I thought the fighting was going to stop. I thought her temper was going to subside. I thought the controlling behavior was going to change. I thought all of that was going to change, but none of it changed. And you guys, the entire time, I never had a key to any of these residences. Now, obviously, I did not expect a key to these first 3. No. And let's also be transparent. These first one, we weren't really making Tay and Lou money just yet. The second one, we weren't really making Tay and Lou money just yet. We were starting to make Tay and Lou money when we lived in the last house with her ex and her ex's mother. However, I didn't need a key to that stuff. I know my place. I know how to play my role. I would not open my mouth and say, oh, I need a key here too. No, I went to that room and that room was my spot. That's what I did, okay? But those last 2 places, I just knew I'd had a key.
Hey guys, well, tell me what y'all think about this video down in the comments, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Some of the things Lou said made me kind of side-eye and say like, because in my experience in relationship, you have to take accountability for what you do, and I don't hear any of that so far. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.